You're listening to Lore Friendly. I'm your host, Kris Takahashi, and with me, as always, is the Earl of English, the Viscountess of video games, the Cobra Commander of Iambic Pentameter, Alice Bell.
Honestly, I just like doing this so I can hear what you come up with each week. It's great.
Yeah. I've got more, but I decided to save some. Did you like that last one? I like that last one.
Yeah, I quite like that one. It was great.
Yeah, this episode isn't airing on schedule because, as I mentioned on the blog, I am a little sick. I'm feeling a little under the weather. I've gotten a little better the past few days. I was food poisoned, basically, by myself.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, by undercooking a steak. So I have no one to blame but myself.
See, if you become a hippie vegan, you don't have to bother with that kind of crap. Because you
Nah.
can't die from eating vegetables.
Well, vegetables can have bacteria attached to them, can't they?
Well, yeah, but you're less likely to, get food poisoning from undercooking a pepper than you
Yeah,
are
that's-
undercooking a steak.
That's true. Although you wouldn't cook a salad or anything like that, though. That
No.
would just be weird.
You just wash everything.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to keep it together and not... because on Monday, I was basically just shooting water out of every orifice, but luckily now it's back to the one, so... but
All's well that ends well.
yeah, but if this podcasting thing doesn't work out, I have a secondary career as a fountain statue, so that's always a good thing.
That's a lovely image to have in my mind first thing in the morning.
Yeah. Well, it's not morning here. It's not morning here in the real world, Alice.
Yeah, well,
It's
in
midnight.
England, it's 8 o'clock. So,
England.
yeah. I haven't
Well-
even had my breakfast yet.
Does that even count as part of the world? Although Scotland says it does.
Yeah, Scotland likes us again. It makes me so happy. I'm so glad that Scotland haven't left us.
Yes. Are you going to be nice to them from now on, or is this just
I've always been nice to Scotland. It's the fucking Conservatives that hate Scotland. And because the
Yeah,
Conservatives are in power, and I'm not going to talk about politics because I sound just like my mum,
Yeah.
so I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about politics.
No, who wants to talk about politics?
Yeah. It just makes people hate you.
Yeah.
Gets people all riled up. But yeah, it does seem like it's a bit of a abusive relationship, because
Yeah.
here in America, we kind of got out of that. We used to be a colony of England, but now we're on our own. And look at us now. We're like number one in the world in obesity and guns and
Hey!
stuff
Woohoo!
like that. Yeah.
Scotland's got a different kind of relationship to us because even before the Act of Union and stuff like that, where Scotland and England were united under one government, they had the same monarch from James I. So they went a good 100 years with the same monarch as us. So basically, all Scotland leaving us was that the Queen wouldn't be Queen of Great Britain; she'd be Queen of England, Wales, and Scotland.
But weren't they talking about possibly switching to the euro, like you'd lose the pound as a currency?
Yeah, well, they'd have to come up with their own currency.
They'd have to pay Peter Capaldi in bagpipes and Mars
Fuck!
bars instead of
Fucking twat bags!
instead of actual pounds, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm completely caught up on Doctor Who, which is something else
Wait,
different. from
you've
the-
managed to watch all of it?
Yes,
In
I
a
tend-
month?
Yes, I tend to binge everything. Like that's how I basically made interesting NPCs. I started with one character, and then a year later I'm like, oh, there's 200 now.
Whoops. My bad.
Yeah. I binge everything. So I did binge Doctor Who. Although the funny thing is, I have an addictive personality, but the one thing I'm not addicted to are actual addictive things like cigarettes or alcohol.
It's quite impressive.
Yeah, like I tried cigarettes when I was a teenager, and I was like, this isn't good. I don't like this. It's not addictive at all. Like, I understand the appeal. Like, you get that nicotine high, but it's not something I could get addicted to.
See, I only ever smoke when I'm drunk, so I just push it to the back of my mind if I have smoked.
But do you have a need for another one at any point?
No?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. It's weird. It's supposed to be one of the most addictive substances there is. Like, people cannot quit smoking, but...
So you drink so you can forget. And then it's safe to do whatever, because then you're going to forget it. Plausible deniability.
Yes, Evil Alice, you told me about your escapades. You'll forget things. That's kind of convenient that you can forget things. You can forget so you don't have to regret.
Yes.
Basically.
Forget, don't regret.
Would you like to share an Evil Alice story? Or is that a little too NC-17?
I think it's a little too NC-17. Although, my friends did leave me alone in a club once, dressed as Snow White. They found me 5 minutes later and, like, my bow had vanished. And I was just running around saying, "Where's my bow? Where's my bow?" That's probably, like, the most PG-13.
Why are you wearing a Snow White outfit to begin with?
It was Disney Princess Night. Duh.
And you just
Obviously.
you just had to be a princess.
Yeah. It was a great costume as well. It was really sparkly.
Is that how you see yourself? Because I thought you said you were more of the goth vampire kind. Like the witch. You would rather be the Disney witch than the princess.
Well, yeah, but I thought princess is, like, as far away from my personality as we can get. And the first thing that came to mind was, "Oh, hello there! How are you, little birds? Oh, why don't you help me clean up, please?"
Oh, that's very good. You need to do more American accents.
I do.
But yeah, like we kind of got off topic there. I binge watched Doctor Who. It was a bit idealistic and campy, so I had to get used to that. But after a while, I mean, I like it. It's kind of like watching a comic book, I think.
That's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's almost like he's like Batman in that he doesn't use a gun. And although Batman is even a darker comic than Doctor Who, but there's always this sort of idealistic feel. The endings are somewhat predictable, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's aimed at that teenage audience, but I mean, I'm practically a man-child, so I don't mind that kind of sentiment. And it was a good balance for me, because I've been watching this show on Sundance called Rectify, and it's about like a guy who gets off death row, and it's really heavy, and so it was just a good change of pace.
Yeah, that sounds pretty dark.
Yeah.
So who was your favourite Doctor? Like, 9, which is Christopher Eccleston, 10, David Tennant, 11, Matt Smith, or 12, Peter Capaldi?
Well, I started with 9, so I can't rate 1 through 8, but I think it's different because I think you have to judge it by the Doctor and their companion.
Yeah.
Like, it's different David Tennant with Rose Tyler than with Billie Piper, with what's her name, Samantha Tate? Donna Noble.
Catherine Tate.
Catherine Tate, yeah. Well, I think my favorite has got to be the Tennant Noble combination.
Oh, they are so good.
Yeah, just because, well, I like the sassy woman type. Like the others, they're good, but they feel like that old trope where we have a smart but emotionally dim male with the woman who's gonna teach him how to care and it's just
I know what you mean.
Yeah, and with Donna Noble, it was just like, oh, here's this person who doesn't put up with his shit. And, I mean, so that was my favorite combination. I don't know, what's yours?
I'm going to go ahead and say David Tennant and Billie Piper, purely because, like, it was the first TV show that made me cry.
Oh, yeah, it was very
spoilers for Series 2. The Doomsday episode where they're leaving each other on the beach, I still can't watch that without blubbing my eyes out.
I think they had the best romantic chemistry.
Yeah.
But that was really odd because of the way it ended, and then she's like making out, spoilers, she's like making out with his clone.
Yeah.
It's just awkward. And I was like, oh, they didn't really know how to end this part.
Yeah, they wanted to give Rose a happy ending, but they couldn't have her on as a companion, so...
Yeah, like, why did they put that in? The ending at the beach was perfect.
It wasn't, though, because Rose was sad.
But she was sad in a way that wasn't awkward and weird. She wasn't making out with his clone. It was, that was just strange. I didn't like that part at all.
It just made me so sad.
Yeah, but I also like Capaldi because he's also, I mean, it's too new to really figure it out. And I don't know if he has all that much chemistry with Clara. But I do like the old guy anti-human sort of shift that he's doing. Yeah, because it's different.
It kind of like echoes back to the earlier series, I think.
Okay, like I haven't watched that, but was the old Doctor? He looks old based on the pictures I've seen.
Yeah, the old Doctor was quite. He was obviously not human kind of thing, whereas David Tennant was probably the most human of the Doctors, and Matt Smith was just like lol quirky.
Yeah, look at my bow tie.
Lol spazzes.
Yeah. So all in all, I like the series. I think I'm gonna keep watching it.
Well, hey, I feel like some good has been done in the world.
I feel like I'm halfway to my British citizenship.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I just need to try Marmite and...
I'll send you some for Christmas.
And,
I am going to send you some for Christmas.
Are you?
No! British people love Scotland. English people love Scotland. I love Scotland.
Are you sure? I don't know. Evidence points
Unless you
to the
want
contrary.
to be a dickwad conservative.
Okay. Oh, I hate No, I don't want to say that, because there might be conservative listeners. We love all our listeners. All 20 of you.
Did you notice that we didn't get any dislikes on the last one?
No, we didn't.
I was
amazing.
so happy. But now, because I've entered politics into the equation, it's just going to be like awful. Soz.
People are going to rage quit. They're just gonna throw their mouse on the ground. Our first topic this month, games either historical or fantasy that, for whatever reason, the industry hasn't made yet. So, ladies first.
I would like to see a game set in Puritan to Restoration England, so from the 1650s to 1670.
Okay, those words mean nothing to me, so explain.
Puritan...
I guess Puritan is that religious Puritans?
Yeah, the Puritan England is basically classed as the interregnum between Charles I, who lost his throne during the English Civil War, and Charles II, who was basically brought back because he was popular and cool. And the interregnum is like the 10-year period where Oliver Cromwell held the ultimate power in England, and he was really strictly religious, so like we class it as being Puritan England.
Okay, and what type of game is this?
It'd be, I don't know exactly, like a puzzle game, I think. You know, like you can get those games where you play with light and shadow. I think it'd be quite interesting to have a game that plays with like Restoration England with all its gaudiness and bawdiness and everything, and Puritan England where everything's very dreary and dull, and you have to like flip between the two time periods to solve puzzles and stuff.
Okay, is it a game where you're selling the aesthetic, or like sell this game to Titus and Xanarkand? Like he wants to play and he wants to get his average dude bros to play, or is it just not an audience you care to sell to?
It's not an average dude bro sort of game.
Okay. So what other games would you compare it to?
I think it could be like classed as being in the same vein as maybe Valiant Hearts, but without like the switching between like time periods.
Okay, so we're talking about an educational game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Educational. You flip between two time periods to compare and contrast and solve puzzles. And what's that shadow game called? Where like you play two characters and one's in shadow and one's in the light and you flip between the two. I can't remember. I think it might be a Flash game.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's like a side scroller, isn't it?
Yeah.
We'll just edit it in.
Yeah.
We'll just edit it in and I'll sound like a genius for coming up with it.
Okay. But yeah, that's the kind of thing that I'd like, because I love the Restoration period. I think it's absolutely amazing. You've got the theatre coming back. You've got actresses for the first time. Like, if it wasn't for the Restoration period, you'd have all blokes voicing all the women in your mod.
Oh, yeah. That'd
not be fun.
Good. No, that would be horrible.
So what's your dream game?
Well, I don't really have a dream game. Look, I'm just gonna pitch you some ideas, and then you could tell me yay or nay, or just shit on all of them. So, idea number one is you could just basically put any sort of modern popular game into a medieval setting. Like they have The Sims medieval, and that sort of works because you know, you have The Sims and you have a castle and all that shit. So that kind of works as a game. But I was thinking maybe if you take it to a different successful franchise, like say Grand Theft Auto.
Oh my god, yes.
Grand Theft Carriage.
Yes. Yes. Oh, you could play a highwayman.
Exactly. You go back to like this, you know, 1600s.
Your money or your life.
Yeah. I think that would be awesome because you could travel the city, you could travel medieval England, and
you can travel the countryside as well.
Yeah, exactly. In this sort of open world format, and rob people, and you know, go to brothels and do all the other stuff you do in Grand Theft Auto, but you'll be doing it in like the 1600s.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. There might already be a game like that. I don't know. This just goes to show how limited my knowledge is.
No idea.
But yeah, I mean, you could also take it to an absurd level too, like with Saints Row kind of deal where it's just everything's just out of control. But
yes,
just Knights Row.
Oh my god, yes. Yes.
Okay, so yay on that idea?
Yay.
All right. Okay, my second idea it's kind of original, actually. It's an original IP. So basically you have these two factions. One faction is completely full of skeletons. And these skeletons, they live off the bone. They're kind of like Indians and buffalo. They use bones for weapons. They use bones for housing. They revere it as a holy object. Like the bone is sacred to them.
Right.
And then there's a second faction, which is just full of dogs. And you know, dogs, they chew on bones as toys. They bury them. They play fetch with them. They basically don't give a shit about bones. So I feel like these are two natural enemies. So, well, basically you're thrust into this world and you have to pick between one side or the other. So, like the tagline could be the people who were once men versus man's best friend. Dog versus bone. What do you think? No.
Yeah, no. No.
You don't like this game?
No.
You don't think it'd work?
No. I think the tagline pretty much sold it, though, if that helps.
Okay, so nay on dog versus bone. Okay, third idea. Brace yourself, because I think this one is the winner. Are you fully braced?
I'm so braced, I'm holding onto my chair.
Okay, if you have a seatbelt, you might want to buckle it, just in case.
I don't have that luxury.
Okay, 5 words. Open world, Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
Right?
Yay.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Yay.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome. Because, like, imagine just having this open world of craziness. You don't know where you're gonna go, like, what you're gonna find. Because, like, even in a game like Skyrim, you kind of have an idea of what the landscape's gonna give you.
Yeah. Mountains, trees,
Yeah.
rivers,
Yeah.
mountains, snow.
Yeah. In Alice in Wonderland, you're basically... It's just one crazy thing after another, and especially if you factor in size, like some areas probably are only accessible like by certain height, and
Yeah.
yeah, it'd just be pretty cool game to have, I think.
That could be really good. It could be like Alice Madness Returns, but so much better.
Yeah, I think so.
Because that was just a glorified platformer.
Yeah. I do like the visuals in that game, but I still think
so much more could have been done with it.
Yeah, the spirit of Alice in Wonderland, the story, is kind of the randomness, and I think an open world game would fit that better.
Yeah,
if
definitely.
You could make it.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Yeah. So yay on that one. What about...
Yay.
Would you like to see that one more than Grand Theft Carriage?
Oh no, Grand Theft Carriage.
That one's our winner.
I would love Grand Theft Carriage. I think it'd be so much fun. You could go around singing Adam and the Ant songs. Stand and deliver.
Yeah. That would be awesome. Okay, so next topic. Game of the month. Oregon Trail. Yay.
I chose a game.
Yes, you did.
And it didn't make me cry.
Oh, yeah. It made me cry, though, but we'll go into that later. This game, Oregon Trail, is for those who aren't familiar, it's an old DOS game. It's spawned a bunch of parodies and is generally one of the very first educational games to hit the PC platform.
it was quite widely used as well, wasn't it?
Yes, yes.
Like, you see a lot of stories of people, like, actually playing it in the schools and stuff, which I think's amazing.
So, did you want to talk about the game at all, or do you want to just go right into
I think we should just go through the story, because the game's pretty basic.
Yeah.
It's, do you want to sleep, do you want to hunt,
Yeah.
and then you play duck hunt, or do you just want to do whatever?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so, let me tell you the tale of my Oregon Trail.
Ooh.
In my party, I had the Doctor, Samwise Tarly, Daenerys,
Samwise
and you,
Barley.
Chris. Oh, fuck, did I mess it up? Yeah, it's fine, Samwise Barley. I couldn't write his last name anyway. Not enough letters. So we had the Doctor, Samwise Barley, Daenerys, and Chris. At the first landmark, about seven days in, we got to the Kansas River crossing, and we attempted to caulk the wagon, which I think is, like, trying to float it over the river.
Mm-hmm.
And the Doctor drowned.
Oh no, really?
7 days in.
Are you serious? Well, I found that every time I did that, nothing happened. It seemed really ominous, but yeah, I can't believe it.
Yeah, the Doctor drowned. Soz.
Okay.
And something that I noticed was Auld Lang Syne, which is like, I think it's a song by like the Scottish poet Robert Burns, played at one of the landmarks, which was really confusing, because I was just like, I know this song. May old acquaintance be forgot and never bought it. Because it's the one that we sing at New Year.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what is this doing in America?
It's possible it got appropriated. Like, God Save the Queen, we sung it when I was a kid as My Country 'Tis of Thee. So when I first heard
Really?
so when I first heard God Save the Queen, I'm like, why are they singing this song about America? And they're like, oh, then I learned later it's actually like a really old English song.
You just perverted
Yeah.
our anthem.
Yeah.
You bastards.
Well, yeah, I feel like I was lied to as a kid. Like, why didn't they tell me this song isn't even original? God.
Feel so ripped off. Want my money back.
Yeah. It's like Milli Vanilli all over again.
Right, so would you like to find out about your fate, Chris?
Oh, God.
I'm looking into your future.
Oh, God.
You got the measles.
Oh, no. Did I survive the measles?
You survived the measles.
Oh, thank God.
You were bitten by a snake. But you survived the snake.
Woohoo! I do feel like it was somewhat ominous that I got food poisoning, by the way, before we...
Yeah.
Because it's basically the modern version of dysentery, right?
It is reading your fortune.
Yeah, so...
You found us some fruit, which was lovely, because she gave us like a couple more pounds of food. And do you want to guess what you died of?
Dysentery. It's not dysentery. No.
Dysentery.
God, I knew it.
You were the second member of our party to die, and you lasted less than 3 months.
Wait, see,
this game
why,
predicted your fate.
Why didn't you rest me?
I did, but like, you just did.
I was
you just
weak.
Died.
Yeah, I tend to do
Yeah.
that.
You were weakened by, the getting bitten by a snake and the measles and shit.
That tends to happen to me.
Yeah.
Well, but you soldiered on.
Yep, we soldiered on. Samwise got sick 4 times.
Did he?
Yeah.
Poor
Poor
Samwise.
guy.
Well, he was without Frodo,
And-
so. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he couldn't
Plus
deal.
the whole name thing.
And-
He probably got an identity crisis.
Yeah, he didn't know whether he was looking for John or Frodo, or if he was going to Mordor, or where. He didn't know, bless him.
Poor guy.
And out of everything, he got dysentery, he got the measles, he was bitten by a snake just like you were, he, got exhausted, and out of all this, he died of a broken fucking leg. Because it was cold, and it wasn't like we were even making him walk because he was in the wagon. So, he was just being a lazy bastard and thought, fuck it, I'm dying.
Yeah, blame him, not the leader of the caravan.
No, it's not my fault, it's his! Lazy bastard.
Wait,
How can you get exhausted from sitting in a wagon?
Did anybody from your party survive this trip to Oregon? This ill-fated trip?
Well, let me tell you about me and Daenerys' girly road trip.
Yes, it's a girly road trip now that you've killed everybody else.
We got through 3 pounds of food a day each, which I thought was quite interesting. So I added up how much I eat in a day, and I eat less than my historical counterpart by like £2. No, I eat £2 of food a day, so I eat a lot less than my historical counterpart. Which is quite impressive.
Maybe you're like one of those people, or Daenerys is one of those people who just like tastes the food and then just throws the rest away.
Yeah, bitch. But do you but do you want to know how many times Daenerys got sick?
How many times?
7.
Oh, that is lore friendly considering what happens to her.
And that's the name of the show. And do you want to know what she died of?
Yes, but first, I like how you say that it's a foregone conclusion that they died. You don't even ask me. Do you want to know if she died? You ask me, do you want to know what she died of? But yeah, go ahead.
She died of a broken arm. Dany's going to get to Westeros. She's going to fall off her dragon, and she's going to die of a broken arm.
Well, yeah, if you're the one leading her, if you're the like main Dothraki guide, or whatever.
I think she was overreacting. To be fair, she's a bit dramatic. You know?
So what you're saying is she didn't die of the broken arm. She died of being left and stranded on the road after you got sick of her being melodramatic.
No, I would never do that. What are you on about?
So nobody survived.
No.
Is what you're saying.
So then it was me on my lonesome for 4 months.
With like hundreds of pounds of food to eat.
I consistently had like 1,200 pounds of food. Which is quite impressive.
That's the thing about the game. Food is probably one of the most meaningless items in the game because, the more important item is bullets.
Definitely.
Like, I feel like the game is somewhat like a slogan for like, or something like it supports the NRA or something like that because it's like bullets solve everything.
They are so useful.
Yeah, they're cheap. They let you kill buffalo that have like 500 pounds of food.
That you can only carry 200 pounds worth back.
Yeah, that kind of... I learned that the hard way. I carried back like 200 of the 5,000 pounds of meat I killed. Yeah. But you did make it to Oregon in the end?
Well, I got every disease under the sun aside from dysentery, which was quite happy. And I was 1 fort away from the end. And I was bitten by a snake, but because I was like so close to the end, like so close, I didn't want to slow down, and so I maybe sort of died. Rip in peace!
From a rattlesnake.
From a snake bite, yeah.
Snake bite. Ooh, interesting. Because, okay, for my playthrough, first, my choice of companions. Obviously, I took you,
Yay!
Yay. Now, the second companion, I decided you needed a bodyguard to protect you, because if you died, obviously this doesn't actually apply to the game mechanics, but, just for immersion's sake, I wanted to give you a bodyguard and some eye candy. So I brought along Jon Snow.
Kit Harington Jon Snow.
Kin Harington Jon Snow.
Ah.
Which was a dangerous move to make, because he obviously knows nothing. Next, I figured it's a long trip to Oregon, so we needed somebody who would tell stories that would entertain you and put me to sleep. And that would be Queen Elizabeth. And, telling all these stories about court intrigue is basically like verbal Ambien for me.
Is it Queen Elizabeth I or Queen Elizabeth II?
The one in Civilization.
Ah. Hello.
So... would you have liked that, or did I just make a bad move?
I would have loved that. Because I think I'm shorter than her, so she wouldn't have to make me shorter by a head.
So, that was my second choice. And then my third choice, given what happened in our previous podcast episodes, where my hypothetical son suffered a very cruel fate, I wanted someone who I'd be motivated to keep alive, besides you. So, I picked 5-time Olympic medalist Mary Lou Retton, because she's basically America's sweetheart. And if she died, I would pretty much have to pull a Edward Snowden and move to Russia and seek asylum because no one wants to see Mary Lou Retton dead.
The fate of America's sweetheart lies in your hands.
Yes. So it was a very bad omen to start when, right at the beginning, Mary Lou broke her leg. And given she's a gymnast, you know, a gymnast, her livelihood is her legs.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
Yeah, it was not ideal at all. But she got better, and after the first month, I was just cruising. I thought, man, this game is easy. I don't know what everyone's talking about, people dying and shit. So I'm cruising along, feeling good about myself, and suddenly, you know, without warning or provocation, on June 13th, 1848, Alice, you were bitten by a rattlesnake and died.
Oh, for fuck's sake, really?
A rattlesnake, yes.
Do you think they have, like, predetermined fates for people with certain names?
I don't know, maybe. But that was the thing. It didn't even give me a chance to rescue. Like, it was, Alice was bitten by a rattlesnake, and then the next line was Alice Bell deceased. Like, like, line to line. I was like, fuck you, game. Like, seriously, you didn't give me a chance to do anything.
You did give me a chance to make more party members with Jon Snow.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. I blame Jon. Well, first things first. First, we mourned you for 4 months because we had so much food. You know, it didn't matter. We mourned you for 4 weeks.
A 4-week funeral.
Yes, we mourned you for 4 weeks at Fort Laramie. Then, you know, at first I was devastated, but then afterwards, I just got mad. I was angry at Jon Snow. You had one job, Jon, and he couldn't do it. So for the rest of the game, I no longer cared about going to Oregon. My one mission was to kill Jon Snow.
Oh no, my baby daddy.
Yeah, your baby daddy. I'm sorry, but you're dead, so your baby's dead too.
Yeah, lovely thought for 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, sorry. So my one goal at this point was to kill Jon Snow. But the thing is, it's almost like he was an unkillable main protagonist of a series because he would not die. He got the dysentery. Yeah. He would not die. He got well again from the dysentery. He got the typhoid. He broke his leg. He even got bitten by a rattlesnake. It might have been the same rattlesnake that got you. But you know what? He lived. It was ridiculous. But then, like when we got toward the end, a miracle happened. The game gave me a choice of floating down the river.
Oh,
and so I took it. And the first thing I did is I crashed right into the rock. And boom. I don't know if Jon Snow knows nothing, but he damn sure as hell doesn't know how to swim.
Oh,
that
no.
motherfucker drowned. Oh, it was glorious. He drowned.
Oh, that is so dark.
And then me, Mary Lou, and Queen Elizabeth sailed on to safety. And
sailed off into the sunset.
Yeah. And left and waved goodbye to Jon Snow as he drowned.
Bye, Jon.
Hey, it's his fault. He didn't keep you alive. He was supposed to be your love interest /
bodyguard.
Bodyguard.
/ baby daddy.
Yeah. He failed at all 3 jobs. Well, maybe he didn't fail at the love interest thing. I don't know.
Well,
I was asleep.
That's between me and him.
Yeah.
You know? Me, him, and the rattlesnake.
Yeah, that is crazy, though, that rattlesnakes killed you in both instances.
I know. It's just really embarrassing. It's better than dysentery, though.
This was a very creepy... It does serve almost as a Halloween episode. I was thinking we need to do a Halloween podcast, but man, this was a kind of creepy podcast.
Yeah.
In that I got the dysentery, basically, in real life.
Does this mean I'm going to get bitten by a snake in real life?
I hope not.
Please no.
No, stay away from snakes.
I'm fragile.
Yeah, with most cases, I was just able to rest, and they were able to get better. But in your case, the game didn't give me a chance. It was just...
Well, fuck you.
Yeah, it was funny because you sent me that email, or you said, if I die first, you're gonna die of dysentery. And it totally happened. And it totally happened. Like, I got dysentery in real life. I died in the game.
It's magic.
Yes, it is magic.
Oregon Trail is inexplicably wound up with real life, like in A Song of Ice and Fire. Jon Snow's gonna die of drowning.
Yeah.
He's gonna go over to the Iron Islands and drown.
I don't think he can die, though, because plot armor. He probably didn't even die in my game. Time for our questions of the month. Yay.
Yay!
Horace in Jakarta asks, I am a huge fan of fast food products. I kneel to the king of burgers and eat my tacos out of giant bells. I believe there is no greater military mind than Colonel Sanders. My question to you is, if the big 5 fast food cuisines, pizza, burgers, tacos, Chinese food, and fried chicken, were transported back to the European Middle Ages, which restaurant would have the most success and why?
Well, to answer this question, I decided to look at both like the availability of the ingredients among the lower classes and the actual nutritional value it would have to the working class peasantry.
But do you think this kind of fast food would be available to peasantry, or is it something that would be considered high-end food at that time?
I don't know. I think it'd be more like it'd be very popular in the cities, not so much in the countryside, but in cities and towns, definitely.
Okay, so this is food. Even though it's fast food, it'd still be available to the peasants. It wouldn't be like only the queen can eat the colonel's fried chicken, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so we're going to start off with burgers, which the hamburger is credited as being invented in around the early 1900s. A ground meat patty that cooks quickly and is surrounded by bread. And there's a lot of dispute over who created it. It's very high in protein and carbohydrates and relatively high in calories, between like 400 and 600 per burger, depending on where you go. But it's low in a lot of essential vitamins, especially concerning those made by high street vendors and like McDonald's and stuff like that. And the quality beef that would provide nutrients wouldn't be available to the peasantry, and it's certainly not available in fast food restaurants. You'd have to go to like a gourmet burger place. So, if anything, it would become very expensive, a commodity, because it's meat-based.
So we could rule that out based on price alone? Okay.
Yeah. For tacos, I think I had a brain fart because I just put, I don't get tacos. Tacos aren't really a thing over here.
Okay. You don't even know what a taco is.
I know what it is, but...
Well, it's basically meat, lettuce, and I guess the tortilla part would confuse people.
Yeah. And the different sauce you can get on it, like guacamole and things like that. I don't think avocados were readily available in, like, Europe. But you could get a decent balance of,
well, they're cheaply made, right?
Yeah. Nutrition-wise, you could get a decent balance, especially if you use, like, beans and lentils and legumes and stuff instead of meat. Make it a vegetarian one.
Yeah. Like, Mexican food is really cheap and good, but we could probably rule it out for the same reason we could rule out hamburgers, I guess. Because of the meat.
Yeah.
So anyways, go on.
Chinese food, and like the Chinese food that we get in the Western world has like been heavily altered to suit our palates. But traditional Chinese food does bear some resemblance to Chinese takeaway, although takeaway is full of sodium and fat, which would be really bad considering that there was very little access to clean water due to the deep fat frying.
But food for peasants is going to be unhealthy no matter what, isn't it?
Yeah. In like meats and stuff were salted heavily to preserve them, and like the low quality of oil and deep fat frying would increase the badness of it incredibly.
Yeah.
But it would be pretty much impossible for a Chinese takeaway business to be successful in like Middle Ages Europe, as the cost for importing some of the ingredients like bamboo and edamame beans and things like that would be like ridiculously high, because you've got to bear in mind that it takes like a 3-4 month voyage or something. I don't know, I'm bad at ships.
Yeah, not to mention edamame beans are from Japan, so...
Oh, well. Yeah. I don't know.
It's alright.
I'm bad. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, so no to Chinese food?
No to Chinese food. Fried chicken would be ridiculously expensive and nigh on impossible to cook, because it would be pretty much impossible to heat the oil to the stage where you could fry the chicken. And chicken's expensive, because chickens are meat. All meats were ridiculously expensive to the peasantry. They were normally, like, left to the upper classes.
Yeah, I mean, today we could mass produce that shit, but I guess it wasn't as common back then.
Right, so the last fast food is pizza.
Yeah.
And you can tell by my excited sounding voice that this is where things take a bit of a turn.
Oh.
Because pizza is probably the oldest of fast foodstuffs, which was thought to be preceded by the ancient Roman focaccia or panis focaccius, which is an Italian flatbread to which cheese, meats, onions and olive oil was added. And it's still popular today as a side dish to many Italian meals. The first recorded pizza comes from 997 AD in Gaeta. I think it's Gaeta, I'm bad at Italian. Italy. And pizza as we know it today, with the traditional pizza margherita, only came into being in the late 1800s to honour the Queen Consort of Italy, Margherita of Savoy. And it was made with tomatoes, mozzarella and basil to represent the Italian flag. And right, though this dish is traditional, the caloric and salt content of the average takeaway pizza is excessive. But the kicker is that the variety of toppings that you can get on a pizza would provide a variety of different macros and micronutrients into a peasant's paltry Middle Ages diet. So it didn't matter if you couldn't get meat because you could shove onions and sweet corn and stuff like that on there, because pizza is one of the most versatile of foodstuffs, and it would have been very popular on the continent because in continental Europe they obviously have the heat to grow stuff such as tomatoes and olives and things like that. So basically, to conclude, pizza would definitely be the most successful foodstuff and especially on continental Europe and even off the continent. It could, similar style dishes would still be quite popular.
It is very versatile in terms of economics and health.
Yeah.
And taste, actually, too. Who doesn't like pizza?
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
I love pizza.
Yeah. Well, then again, I love burgers, tacos, Chinese food, and fried chicken,
Well,
so.
Fair enough. I've never been one for fried chicken, to be honest.
What?
I've been to KFC, and it's just a bit... I could take it or leave it, to be fair.
Really?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, Alice?
Does this mean I'm dead to you now?
You died by a rattlesnake bite long ago.
Well, yeah.
Back in 1848. Yeah, I'd say tacos, if it was a level playing field in terms of economics and accessibility, I could definitely see...
Tacos could be quite...
Yeah, competitive.
Yeah.
But it's hard, even today, it's hard to beat pizza.
Yeah. It's a toss-up between pizza and tacos, basically.
Yeah. Okay, next question. Amanda in Vancouver asks, oh god, this one is full of accent stuff, huh?
No,
I'm not
don't
going
know.
to. Okay, first off, how are you doing? Things are fine here, eh? Leaves are turning, sun is shining, and the Bare Naked Ladies, obviously a Canadian band here, are playing at the local watering hole. But oh yes, my question. My cousin Jonas is a fan of the rap music, and he says Sandy's boy, Drake, was having a little shouting match with another rapper fella, so I got to wondering, did them old bards and poets get into similar fracases? Alice?
See, when you say it just seems like you're pausing because you're not doing the accent.
Yeah.
But I won't make you do a Canadian accent because that's just awful.
Yeah. I think we killed the accent thing last month, so.
We'll find an accent to do at the end, it's fine. I've done an accent this week, so it's all good.
Yeah, there we go. You can do the accents from
yeah.
now on.
Okay. Right, so one compelling argument that I found is that the concept of rap battles was invented in medieval taverns in Scotland,
really?
where it was known as flyting, and it was laced with vulgarity, double entendre, and satire, and flyting was often the final step before a full-out fisticuffs, according to Professor Zaz.
So what was the point of the rap battle if they were gonna punch it out anyway? I mean,
no, it was one step before. If they managed to duke it out with words, there would be no fisticuffs kind of thing.
Okay. See, I thought it was maybe chess boxing or something, where there's different points given to each stage.
Yeah.
But no, it was if you win the rap battle, it's over.
Yeah.
Basically. Oh, okay.
You were just too shamed, and one of the most famous examples of flighting can be found in the flighting of Dunbar and Kennedy, and I'm going to read you a little bit of an extract from it.
Oh.
So, Kennedy says, "Dread dirt-fast dirge, that thou hast disobeyed, my cousin Quintin and my commissar, fantastic fool, trust well thou shalt be flayed, ignorant elf, ape, owl irregular, scalded skatebird and common scamelar, wound-fucked foundling that nature made a yearl." So basically, Kennedy is saying that Dunbar is a fool who'll be flayed or shamed. He's a scrounger and a rascal, and something about begetting a dwarf.
All it needed was a beat, I think.
Yeah.
We would have had a new hit record. That was awesome.
Dread, fast dirge, thou hast disobeyed. My cousin Quintin and my commissar. And Dunbar responds in part, Cumberwold Crawldon, no man counts thee a curs, swear swap it swanky for A for swats. Thy commissar Quintin bids thee come kiss his arse. He loves not such a four-lane loon of larts. He says thou scaffs and begs more beer and oats, nor any cripple in Carrick land about. And it's basically like, Quintin's talking about you behind your back, you dickwad.
Wow. Who won that rap battle?
I don't know, I didn't read to the end of it. Because I had to do my actual reading for uni.
Well, maybe somebody punched each other out.
They just went wild.
Although if I had to choose, I'd give it to Kennedy. I think Dunbar would be a little bit afraid to show his face around town after that serving.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there were actual rap battles back in the day.
Yeah. And Zaz believes that this practice migrated to the States with Scottish immigrants and who were slave owners. And the slaves would pick up on this from their masters and adapted it for their own purposes, marking the similarities between rap and flighting. Now, this is the most interesting argument I found, but there are, of course, other arguments saying that it came from, like, Africa and things like that.
Yeah. Although it could be apocryphal, who knows if it actually is true, because it sounds like a bit of a stretch.
Well, maybe rap came from a number of different sources, and this is just one of them.
So it's quite possible we have the Scottish to thank for rap.
Yes. Thank you, Scotland. Yes. We do appreciate you.
Rap, deep-fried Mars bars, and David Tennant.
Oh, yes.
We've established that Scotland is worthy.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds bad. Saying somebody's worthy.
No, Scotland's better than England, probably.
Yeah.
Like, they gave us David Tennant, we gave them Matt Smith.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, we've hit our hour mark.
Pretty much. Wow.
We survived.
Yeah. Oh, I need to get some breakfast. I need to go shopping.
Yeah.
I haven't got any food in.
We survived, although not in the game. We died in game.
Well, you didn't die in yours.
Oh, I didn't? I thought you said I died of dysentery.
No, you died in my game. You didn't die in your game.
Oh, that's right. I did survive.
You're living a half-life.
Yes.
Oh. Should we try and do a Halloween special next week?
Yes, I think we should.
Next time. If people have suggestions for a historically based horror game that we can play, please leave them in the comments below.
Yes, please do that.
I was thinking maybe Amnesia or something.
Yeah, we could always do like we always do and make people up.
Yeah.
I mean, they're actually real. Amanda in Vancouver is a real person.
Yeah. Quentin from Scotland suggests that we should do Amnesia.
Thanks, Quentin.
Thanks.
Is this another game? Is this another game that's going to leave me sad and devastated, like this last game you suggested to me?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I've got Amnesia, so it means that we don't have to buy anything, so that's good.
Maybe Evil Alice will make an appearance for our Halloween special.
Does this just mean that I'm going to turn up really drunk and record a podcast?
Possibly. Let's try
great.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Promise. Pinky promise.
Sweet. Pinky promise. That's it for this month's episode of Lore Friendly. We'll see you next month or this month, because it's October already, for our Halloween special.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. Goodbye. Yay. Goodbye.
This is Viridian, and you're watching the 3D NPC Podcast Network. You may recognize my voice from my previous work, How to Subscribe to a Podcast. It's real easy. You just press a button. What should we cover next month? Make a suggestion in the comments. Oh, am I kidding? No one's listening. I might just as well tell you my deepest, darkest secret. Well, maybe I'll save that for the next month. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you didn't, it's likely you just need to turn the volume higher. Click on any of the boxes to watch another video. Go on, don't be shy. I'll wait here while you click them. I've heard some of you want me to start my own podcast. Well, first we'll need funding. Please visit my Kickstarter project at giveviridianyourmoney.com. Congratulations, you've reached the end of the podcast, and for that you deserve a reward. Now if I can just figure out how to give it to you. I tried pushing it through the screen, but it's not working. Oh well, I guess I'll keep it. It's not like you need a jetpack anyway. I mean, what year does Kris think it is? 1968? Spoiler alert, it's not. But maybe it can be. If you press the button.